Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how you can build this simple LED lamp. Admittedly, it's not the best looking lamp, but I built it for my shop anyway, so I don't really care about what it looks like. And it was surprisingly easy and quick to build. On top of that, it works incredibly well. Compared to my tiny lamp I had before, this fills the entire table with light, and my hand isn't creating a shadow on a part that I'm working on. The most expensive part is actually the 5-meter LED strip. Overall, I'm very satisfied with the results, but let's get into the build now. The lamp is built entirely around these aluminum profiles. 3 flat bars and 3 L-shaped profiles. Of course you can customize this however you want. I got this from my local hardware store. They were all less than €3, which is really nice since they also act as a heatsink. They keep the LEDs cool and that really increases their lifespan. Let's start with the easy part, the wall-mounted LEDs. These are just 2 L-shaped profiles with LED strip attached. These will be later mounted on a wall. To build the top frame, I started by creating a single 2 meters long bar. I'm sure there are better ways of connecting 2 flat bars together, but I just simply cut a rectangle off of one of them. I'm using a tiny handsaw and it's actually really effective. Each cut only took few seconds. This saw is actually a multi-purpose one, so I wasn't sure if it's going to work, but it turned out great. Next, I drilled 4 holes, one in each corner. I'm using 4mm drill since I have M4 hardware. Then I transferred the holes to the bars, drilled them out, and with bolts and nuts connected everything together. To connect the long piece with the short one, I'm using a L profile since it is sturdier. I cut it down to 2 35cm long pieces. I wanted the frame to be at an angle, so at one end of each L shape I separated the walls. Before bending it, I scored a little slot at the point where it would bend. This is just to make sure the metal doesn't stretch or compress too much. With the Dremel tool, I cut the other wall to match the shape. I didn't have any specific angle in mind when cutting this, just something that seemed reasonable. Next, it was time to put the frame together. I just drilled holes on the part that I just bent and also on the other side of the profile. Then I drilled the matching holes on the 2 bars. I used the same M4 hardware as previously, although I had to make some changes when attaching the chain. Speaking of chain, it is the next thing that needs to be taken care of. I got this one from a hardware store as well. I got 4 meters, but 3 meters would be plenty. The chain can't just run from ceiling directly to the frame, because the entire frame would tilt. Instead, we have to create these loops on each side of the frame. Both of these are 40 centimeters long. One end is connected to an existing bolt, and for the other I had to create a new mounting hole. The way I attach the chain and the frame is by twisting the chain around the bolt and using a washer to keep it in place. The end of the chain it was then secured with zip ties. Arguably, the zip ties are not the best solution, but the frame is quite lightweight anyway, so I think it's okay to do in this case. Having the frame done, I can move on to laying down the LED strip. Most LED strips have adhesive back, so you just peel off the paper and put it in place. When cutting them down, make sure you only cut where the scissor icon is, otherwise you will ruin it. This was the point I realized I should have left some room for the strip, as I had to cut it down at every mounting point, and this becomes even bigger problem when soldering it. It will just make the soldering a lot more labor intensive, but it's very easy to understand. When soldering, you just need to connect all negatives together and all positives together. Also, make sure each strip is connected to at least one other strip. Once again, this is my shop, so I didn't bother too much running this cable neatly. Lastly, a power jack needs to be connected, and you can connect this anywhere. For example, I connected mine in the middle of an LED strip, just because it was close to a power outlet. If you're feeling fancy, you can even add a power switch, but I didn't feel like it because I was getting close to the end of the build and I just wanted to get it finished as soon as possible. Lastly, everything needs to be connected on walls. Since this house is not made out of cardboard, I will be using plastic anchors and screws. I'm drilling to concrete, so hammering drill is a necessity. The wall-mounted part was straightforward. The hooks as well actually. Just drill a hole, insert plastic anchor and screw in the hook. And it's done. I am very happy about the result, but let me know what you think in the comments. Also, please check out my other videos.